day 7 on the Disney Treasure. Sadly, the last day, but it's my favorite port, Castaway Key. We're just waiting for the all clear to get off, and I'm super excited. We have a cabana on Serenity Bay. I haven't really been on Serenity Bay. I've only stopped by, so that will be nice to experience a new part of the island. And I will be running the DIY 5K because I like to run on vacation. All right, so something cool. Now that Disney has 5 million ships on the sea, we had binoculars, and if
yeah, because look at here.
you can look in the distance, that's the Disney Dream right there sailing by. Hey, Disney Dream. If you're looking for a good Christmas gift for your father, binoculars. Vortex. Seen in a Bass Pro near you. If I could live here, I would. The weather is absolutely perfect. I think this is one of the best weathers we've had in Castaway in a while. So there is a tram stop from here. Well, the tram stops Scuttles Cove and then Pelican Point, which is further down here. From the boat to Scuttles Cove is about a 10-minute walk. It's very reasonable, very doable. We always like to walk. All of this merchandise on the island is exclusive to the island, and you won't find anywhere else, not even on the ship. So if you see something you like, buy it. This guy's skirt, we ain't in a family tram anymore. Okay, time to run the 5K. I'm doing the 5K backwards a little bit because I'm starting at Serenity Bay because that's where Cabana is. Got my Grand Athletics on. It's supposed to be the Little Mermaid. Now let's start running. And remember, the full 5K is 2 bike loops. It's very confusing. The 5K starts right here by the bike rentals. You pick up your medal by the bike rentals track. They also have water throughout the course too. It's hot out. Did it. Finished 5K. Medal. Whee! It's rubber, but it's super cute. So like I said, I did the 5K a little backwards because I went to the Serenity Bay cabanas first. So you start at the bike rentals, you go down, go through the bike loop, go down the airstrip to Serenity, come back, do the bike loop again, and then finish. I just did it opposite way because I started right here. Medal, 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 I run on vacation. Medal, 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 I run on vacation. I've done the 5K about like 4 or 5 times now. But it's so nice because, especially right now, I can't run outside back home because it's 2 feet of snow on the ground. So I'd rather run in the blazing hot sun than run it on a treadmill. So, okay, time to go in the water. I've actually never been physically in the water on the Serenity Beach. Tube time. over here on Serenity Bay, they have construction going on for new cabanas. So it looks like building the cabanas over here. I don't know how many, I gotta figure that out. But this used to be the crew beach, and the crew beach got moved down to the other side of Serenity Bay, all the way down on the other side. But this is an extension of Cabana's construction, which makes sense because the Triton class ships have almost double, I want to say, the amount of concierge rooms. So being concierge no longer guarantees you a spot for a cabana or a reservation for cabana. So there's definitely the demand for the cabanas. So it looks like, let's see, 1, 2. It's hard to tell because these don't look like the normal cabanas. Like, I can't. But it also looks like there's like a bigger building back there. So maybe they're gonna have their like own like lunch, stuff like that. Right, so today, our Castaway Key day will primarily be relaxing and enjoying our cabana at the adult beach. Castaway Key has so much to do for families, kids, adults. I've been here so many times, so I've done pretty much everything at this point. So I like to just pick and choose when I go, what I want to do. Is it going to be an activity day or is it going to be a relaxing day? And today's going to be a relaxing day. But Castaway Key has so much to do. There's the family beach over back towards the ship. At the family beach, well, there's 2 family beaches, but there's plenty of seating along the beach, hammocks, loungers, umbrellas. There's a water playground in the ocean for the kids to play in. There's snorkeling, so you can rent fins and masks to snorkel. You can also bring your own mask. You just have to wear the neon snorkel vest, which is free, just for safety reasons. But in the snorkeling area, there's tons of structures to look at, plenty of fish, wildlife, marine life, all that jazz. At Pelican Point, there's the Pelican Plunge. There's 2 water slides. One's covered, one's open, in the ocean. Those are adult friendly, family friendly. So you just swim out to those, get on those, go down the slides. There's also family cabanas on the family beach as well. There's Scuttle Cove, which is like the equivalent of the kids club on the island. There's Into Shade, which is, I think, like foosball and basketball and kind of just activities you can do in the shade to kind of get out of the hot sun. And then you have the rental bikes. There's a rental bike spot at Serenity Bay and where the 5K has started. So you can rent bikes at an extra cost and bike either the loop I did running, or there's another road right behind this cabana that goes all the way down there to a lookout point on the other side of the island. You can also walk it if you'd like. And yeah, and then plenty of characters meet and greet throughout the day in their own special Castaway Key outfits, and that's primarily towards the family beach area where like Mount Rustmore is in that area. And then for food, there's plenty of bars selling drinks, but included in your cruise fare is Cookies 1, Cookies 2, and then Serenity Bay buffet. So these buffets serve the traditional like lunch, barbecue lunch. So you got burgers, dogs, coleslaw, all that jazz. And then at the Serenity Bay buffet for the adults, I believe they also serve steak. So yeah, there's plenty to do to make your perfect day perfect. You can't do everything. Just gonna tell you that much. So yeah, today's gonna be a relaxing day. And yeah, I'm getting hungry from running. I had a small breakfast and then I ran, and now I'm starving. That was the most chaotic buffet I've ever seen in my entire life. There was no...
It's not even busy.
It's not even busy. It was so disorganized. There's like one line for meat to get all the meat, but you had to get your own hamburger bun. And then there's 2 toppings. It was...
chaos.
It was absolute chaos. And then the cookies were before the meat. I don't even know what just happened. Just because cookies 1 and 2 are very organized. That's why it's just weird. Okay. So I got... le burger, le corn, watermelon, and some cookies. And then you can also get ribs and steak at the Serenity Bay buffet. And a crispy Coke. Okay, so this is our first time renting a Serenity Bay cabana. All the other times we've done cabanas, it's been on the family beach. So if you have children under the age of 18, you can't rent these cabanas because they're adults only. They are substantially cheaper than the family beach cabanas, so that's something to take into consideration of which one you'd prefer to go for if you're adults only party. My initial thoughts, I like this cabana. I like the spot. I feel like there's pros and cons to each, like the family beach cabanas and these cabanas. I definitely think there's a lot more privacy over here in this cabana, and the water's a lot nicer. So over at the family beach, the water's usually up to your shins, and the entry into the water, into the beach, is very rocky. So it's really hard to enjoy the water aspect of it. Here, the water feels beautiful, and you can get maybe like waist deep, and there's not any like rocks or anything like that. On the other hand, the cabana, the family beach cabana, does have their own private beach. So over here, we're sharing the beach with the just the adults on the Serenity Bay. So all these loungers in front of us are for like all guests, and same with the ocean. So there's no like private aspect to that, but the water is nicer. It is quieter over here. There's less children yelling. We've had instances with the family cabanas where the cabanas to the left or right of us have been really rowdy, so that's not as relaxing. But over here there's plenty of vegetation between each cabana, and it's a lot quieter because you don't have the kids playing, which is understandable. I do recognize it's a family beach, and that's kind of what you sign up for, and it never really bothers us, but it's definitely noticeable over here how much quieter it is. Another con of the Serenity Bay cabanas is I just feel like we're very far away from everything. So in this case, I've been to Castaway Key many times, so I don't have an urge to go snorkel or go on the pelican plunge slides. But if this is your first time, you can feel very removed from like the entire island, because all the entertainment, everything else is back towards the family beach, because you have to take a tram over to Serenity Bay. So there's pros and cons to both. I'm glad we tried out a Serenity Bay cabana. We figured because it's New Hampshire school vacation, there would be a lot of kids on this sailing, so it would be a good opportunity to try the adult beach cabana. I'm happy we did. It's very relaxing over here. I appreciate the shade over here. There's a lot more shade in the cabana area. You can't really see our neighbors in this cabana, and like I said, the water's so much nicer. You can swim in it, there's no rocks, it's a lot nicer. So pros and cons to both. It's all about availability, what you want to pay for price, where you want to be. So as you can see, the tide went out pretty far, so all of this is, I would say, knee deep. You can see my dad out there. Beforehand it was there he is, he's waving, hi Dad. Before it was I would say like waist deep, but now it's very shallow, which happens in the afternoon as the tide goes out. I love Castaway. I love it much. I love the island life.
Because it was like,
look how far away we are from the shore, and we're like waist deep. A little freaky. Nothing's funnier than people swimming in knee-deep water. Hey! It kind of feels like that scene when like Davy Jones's crew is like walking out of the water. This is probably the best view I've had from a hammock.
Best view from the hammock?
Yeah. It's hammock nap time. I got myself covered up so I don't sunburn like I did yesterday on the day bed. This is my least favorite part of the trip, leaving Castaway. What I like to do is I like to take my sweet time going back to the ship and just soaking in Castaway Key as much as possible. This name should also look familiar because he is the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Alright, we're looking at the aft of the ship, the Disney Treasure. Each ship has a character or characters behind the stern. So here we have Captain Hook and Peter Pan. Okay, so I haven't seen this installation yet. These are all the families that have reached 50 or more cruises with Disney Cruise Line. So once you hit 50, you get an email asking what you want for your family name and the little icon here. So some have the anchor, some have the DCL icon, the compass. And once they have 5 families ready to be put on a slat, they'll email you with the date that it will approximately be up. So then you can visit Castaway Key to see your name up there. So some of these have been sailing since the inception of Disney Cruise Line. But one of these was, let's see, 99, 2006. So like this guy's been sailing. They've sailed at least 50 times in 7 years. That's insane. So we're about halfway there. It's gonna take a while. In addition to the families who have sailed with us more than 50 cruises. Pretty neat. And this was done for the 25th anniversary of the Disney Magic, or the inception of Disney Cruise Line in 1998. This is the post office. You can actually send mail here. All you need is a Bahamian stamp. You can get that at guest services. Super easy. So these are all postmarked, ready to go. See you in 6 to 8 months. I'm not kidding, it takes that long. So it looks like they have both aft and forward gangways open right now, so we're gonna go to the forward. JK, they just closed it. We're going through the aft. This is a little gift from the concierge team. Every single concierge stateroom gets a little lithograph from Don Ducky Williams. Let's see what this, oh yes, it's a new one. Sometimes when you cruise a lot, you get duplicates, but this one's a new one. Celebrating Disney Cruise Line's magical fleet. So you have all 6 ships. And this will only be applicable until November. Tale of Moana tonight. There's no videoing inside the theater, but I will give a full review after the show. Alright, we are back from the Tale of Moana. One of the most highly sought out pieces of entertainment on the Disney Treasure. I thought it was fabulous. It was probably one of the best movie adaptations Disney Cruise Line has put out, because they've had Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, but I think Moana tops them all. Personally, the set design was amazing. Their creativity in terms of how to kind of tell the story with what you have, right? The stage, and then that Taka puppet, like my mouth literally dropped, like physically dropped when that Taka puppet came out. That was an engineering marvel in itself. And the vocalists were amazing as well. So definitely take the time to see it. Get there early. I want to say the theater filled up maybe 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. There was only single seats left. So make sure to prioritize getting there early. They do have a matinee showing, so this was interesting for this cruise. They had matinee showings for Beauty and the Beast, which was yesterday, and Tale of Moana today, so that was a second opportunity for you to go see it. Of course, we were on Castaway, so we just saw it during our showtime, but another perk of concierge is you get to go into the theater priority access 35 minutes before the door opens, so that really helped in getting good seats before the doors actually opened, not having to queue up beforehand, because I have no idea what the queues look like outside the theater, but when the doors opened there was like a flush of people. So yeah, it was a beautiful story. Another thing that was interesting was they included the song Warrior Face, which if you listen to the outtakes on the Moana soundtrack, that was one of the songs that got cut from the original soundtrack movie. So that was interesting that they put that in there, and it was a nice little touch. So yeah, highly recommend. So now it is off to dinner. We have one more dinner at 1923. This is like a carbon copy of another menu on, I think, the Dream or the Fantasy. And yeah, let's just have a great last night. All right, no pressure, Sophie.
I'm
If
ready
it
to
goes
catch
wrong, I'm Samantha, okay?
Okay.
We're from New England. just a
Samantha
reminder.
from Ireland.
And nobody judge my de-shelling skills I learned off YouTube.
That's okay. I don't even know how to de-shell lobsters. They do the character previews at first. They don't introduce them. They just randomly come out. And I suggest not waiting for Mickey and Minnie at the front because everyone just rushed them. And it was crazy over there. I had kids like push me out of the way, understandably. But in the back, they had like Tiana, Donald, and Daisy, and they had no line because no one sees them back there. So character clues at first, and then the show. A little different than what they do on other ships.
It is time. Adventurers and treasure seekers, your journey is approaching its end.
Aww.
Shall we dial it back?
Yeah!
I ran out of my tracks. Now, he knows. You unlocked so many incredible moments, but did you find your treasure? Did you? How about you? What adventures have you been on? What treasures did you find? With globe-trotting adventurers.
There they are, better than gold, stronger than diamonds, more valuable than any prize in the universe. Your memories. Such things will always be greater than all the magic, all the treasures in all the world.
buddy.
Get my corn scraps.
Are you related to the dinosaurs? Do you know Aladar? The iguanodon? Can you speak raptor?